From experience, I know that relocating is something that is not very easy and it is very tedious, irrespective of who you are, how many people that you have that you are moving with. I have done it twice by relocating to two different continents. So that is, I moved from Ghana to UK, which wasn't easy. I made some mistakes, yes, but I learned from it. When I was also moving from the UK to the US, I did some mistakes as well. But that is why I'm here and I'm doing this video so that you don't make any mistakes like I did and make your transition and relocation very pleasant and smooth. I am going to be talking about some important points that I think you should do when preparing to move from one continent to the other. And especially if your aim is coming to the United States, this video is for you because it would more likely be centered to moving to the US and making that transition very easy. I am going to be talking about some points, and the second and the last point are the most important things that I want you to get out from this video. So if not anything, please make sure you don't miss those two important points, which is the second and the last point. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Joy Sapo, and on this channel, we talk about everything nursing. We talk about relocating and living in the United States and everything lifestyle. As you are here, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to this channel. For the first one, I'm starting off very basic and very soft, which is identification. When you are moving continents, it is important to make sure that your identification, i.e., which is your passports, your visas, green card, or resident permits, they are all in date and they are all intact. Another thing that you have to also prepare for is also your birth certificates, your marriage certificates, and any good important thing that you think that they would ask. As part of the identification, another important document that if you have will make your life very easy when you move to the United States is your driver's license. If you are a driver and you drive a car in the country that you are coming from, I would advise that you get an up-to-date driver's license. And if there is an option for international driver's license, you have to get that as well so that one, you can use that as an identification when you come, and then also if you need to get a driver's license, it would be easy for you to switch, or you have a proof to say that, hey, I am a driver already from another country, so it makes it easy to get a driver's license or done here in the US. Okay, so number two, that is one of the most important points that I wanted you to take from this video is when you have children. So our next point is children. When you are coming to the US with children, there are some key important things that you have to do as a parent. And one of the important things to get is the child's vaccination record. Now, the school system here is fond of ensuring that every child which comes to their schools are vaccinated, because if especially the children are very young and they are very impulsive and they go to like daycares and they play, they don't think about doing things like biting and all that. So they want to make sure that your child is properly vaccinated, especially against any blood-borne diseases, so that if in case something happens to your child while in your care, your child is protected. And if your child is also biting another child, cutting themselves, they are also protected. So that is one of the most important things that you have to get is your child's vaccination record. Now, if you are coming from the UK, I know that your child will probably have a pediatrician or a GP. So one important thing is that you go to see the GP and get the child's medical record. When you get that medical record, tell them to make it an official document that you are going to give to another provider so that they know the care they were giving to your child and where they are going to continue from. Another important thing that I would advise any parent relocating to the United States coming with their children is to get their school records. If you are moving from either Ghana or the UK, relocating to the US, it is important because the educational system here in the United States is obviously going to be different from the educational system in these countries that you are coming from. You want to make sure that as an intentional parent, it's not all about the grade your child is in, or because my child is in fifth grade, automatically they are going to be in fifth grade when they come here. I would say that you get their child's school records, get their report cards, any activities that they were involved in, that it was documented, get that as well. And whatever year that your child is in, if it is possible, get their curriculum as well, so that when you come and then you go to a school here, is not, you are not just dropping your child off to the school based off of their age or their previous grades that they were in, but they are assessing your child based on the school record that you brought, the curriculum that you brought as well. They are comparing it with their curriculum that they have here to make sure that it aligns with what the child already knows. After that, they are obviously going to assess your child to make sure that they need the same grade, or they have to be in the same grade that you said they are supposed to be. And I would say this will be a very good jumpstart for your child, um, branching into the American educational system. So, if you're a parent, the third thing that I would like to talk about as an individual relocating to the United States is get your medical records together. Now, if you're coming from the UK, you already probably have a GP, so you can just go to the GP and ask for your medical record. That is very important because when you come here, you would also need a GP, which here we call the primary care provider. It makes the transition easy, and it makes them know where to continue from. Also, if you were visiting the dentist every 6 months, or in the UK, I would say that you also get your dental records and sometimes the x rays and all that, so that when you come here and also you see the dentist, you have like a record already, so that they can follow and then see your past dental issues and anything that they would think will need fixing, or wherever they can continue from. If you didn't have any dental, if you didn't have any dentist in the UK, that is okay. When you come here, you can get a dentist, and then they are going to assess you and they're going to do your x-rays and all that, just to so that they can have a baseline of you if anything should happen. Another important thing under medical that you have to get is, if you wear glasses, you have to also get your prescription together. Now, that is going to be good for you when you come here. Yes, when you come here and you will go to see the eye doctor, they are also going to do their assessments, but at least bring in your prescription, or any eye procedures that you've had would give them a better idea and perspective on how to deliver care to you based on what you brought. Also, if you have any prescription history, any medications that you are taking, if you have any chronic illness that you take medicines for, I would suggest that you see the pharmacist and get at least a 2 to 3 month supply if possible, so that you can travel with that. Because sometimes when you relocate, things can get very busy and crazy when you are trying to navigate your way through. You will not realize until it's 6 months in here. So you would want to make sure that if you have any chronic illness, you do have enough supply for you to take before you see you'll find yourself a primary care provider here, so that by the time you find yourself a primary care provider, you have enough supply, and they can send some of your prescription to the pharmacist for you to pick it up. The last thing I would like to talk about, which is another important point I want you to take from this video, is financial aspect. Now, if you are coming from your home country and you have a bank account, you don't necessarily have to close it. That is okay. You can keep it like that. You can keep it there, so which is okay. Now, if you are coming from the UK and you are not a citizen yet, and you have an account, there is no reason to close the account. You can leave some money in and it can become an offshore account whenever you go to UK, whenever you do any businesses there. But one important thing that I would like to advise whoever is planning to come to the United States is to get an Amex card. Now, the Amex is an American Express card, which you can get it whilst you are in the UK. But obviously, they are going to report the credit agencies, so you will be the Amex card is very useful and important to have before you come to the United States. Is that when you get to the United States, the AMS has a global transfer program. So if you tell them that you have an AMS card in the UK and then you've moved to the US, be able to get a US AMS card, but your data and your information will be the same. They are able to transfer that information, they are able to transfer that credit score that you were using in the UK to the one that to the Amex card in the US, so that at least they have a trail for a credit score. They have an idea about your credit history. So it will be easy to get a credit card here, and then it will be easy to purchase anything on credit when you come initially. So that is why the owning an Amex card when you are in the UK before you relocate to the US is very important. So if you have plans of coming to the US and you don't have it yet, this is not any paid ad. This is something that I did that was very helpful that nobody told me, but I want to reiterate to you, if you already have the card, to keep it. That is going to be beneficial. And if you do not have it, I would advise you get it so that when you come here, your credit history can be easily transferred to the American Express card here in the United States. Also, one important thing under financial that I would like to talk about is if you ever owned a house, or if you ever owned a house in the UK, whether you sold it or you will still own that house whilst you are relocating, make sure that you bring some of these mortgage documents, because it will make you getting a loan here very easy. And when you plan to buy a house, it is also going to make your getting a loan easy for you, getting a mortgage here easy as well. But another important thing under financial that I would like to talk about is if you have investments in the UK where your brokers are in the UK and you want to transfer that investment into another brokerage in the United States, make sure you also start to discuss with that the broker there, and then let them know that you will be relocating and possibly be transferring everything to your new brokerage account when you get to the United States, so that when you come here and then you open that a brokerage account, whether it's Fidelity, Vanguard, Charles Schwab, whether is Robinwood, whatever it is that you decide to open with, you can give them the contacts for that brokerage account in the UK. They are going to communicate with each other and make sure that your transition is smooth. Also, another thing that you would like to look into is the tax when transferring that amount. I'm not sure if you have already been taxed in the UK, you would be taxed again in the US. But again, the brokers would be the best people to talk about this. So if you have any investment properties or any investment account, I would encourage that you also start communicating with them and making sure that you can have a smooth transition for with everything that you have there. Other helpful extra items that I would like to encourage you to put as miscellaneous just in case you need them is some references from your employers that you are working with currently. Also, make sure that your school certificates, any certifications that you did, is all put together. Your transcripts, your CV. And if you are coming with your partner, make sure that your partner also has all their documentations, all their certificates, anything that you think that you would have to pack or grab that will make your partner finding a job easy in the United States. I will put down here a link to my digital platform where you can go and schedule an appointment with me if you want to have a detailed conversation about anything, what anything about nursing, anything about relocating to the United States. I have a 60-minute video call and 30 minutes phone call that you can schedule depending on what your questions are and what you want to know. So everything is in there. Just book it and then I will find time and have that conversation with you. Thank you so much for staying tuned. And if you enjoyed watching this, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel.